Hey there guys, what's happening? I know it's been a long time since I've done any videos. I know videos on this channel have been pretty slow lately, but it's been hectic. I'm in school and I don't have financial aid or any type of assistance for that, so I pay for school completely out of my pocket. So I've pretty much been busy working and in school for the past couple months or so. And when you have a commission-based job, it's always stressful trying to get as much as you can to help pay for school, which is why, in the last DVD update, I announced that I was retiring from movie collecting, and, I've kept my integrity there. I haven't bought it, because, personally, the enjoyment just kind of faded away. I just couldn't sit there and watch movies like I used to. I still have the collection and all that stuff, but I'm just kind of stopping from the whole movie collecting phase. I think I just outgrew it. But anyways, enough about that stuff that I'm sure you guys probably don't care about. We are now doing something different. I'm outside of work and school and all that stuff. One hobby I have turned to outside of the movie collecting is music collecting. I've been keeping up with a lot of new albums and everything that's coming out this year. So what I thought I'd do, since I've got a bunch here and I've still got a bunch on pre-order and I'm going to keep going for them, every time I get some new albums, and when I say new, I mean they're brand new, just came out this year, 2016, I would just do a video kind of highlighting them, giving them shout-outs, and hopefully raise awareness for them so everyone can go check them out, because it's a lot of good music, especially coming from Frontiers Records and all that. It's mainly melodic rock, so like 80s style rock music, although I've got one here that's kind of an exception to that. But anyway, so without further ado, I'm going to give you some music recommendations, and since we're doing some AOR melodic 80s style rock music, I'll put a little soundtrack on here in the background while I talk, and here we go. So the first one I got here, this is the one non-melodic rock album. Even though it still kind of is a rock album, it's still heavy enough to be rock. It's a percussion-driven album, it's pretty heavy, it's very moody and atmospheric. It's the album 3 by the Blue Man Group. As you might have guessed, this is their third album. Here's the song. Not sure what that is on the back, but this, if you really like percussion-oriented music or just moody rock music in general, this is good. I will warn you ahead of time, this is completely instrumental. There are no lyrics, especially for track 8, which is called Robots, which is kind of a joke song, but it's meant to be funny more than anything else. So 3 it's what I love about this. It's moody. It's got a really strong atmosphere from beginning to end. Track number 1 is called Dispatches 1. As soon as you get to that song, it's amazing. It's just really thumping drums, real moody, real atmospheric, which that's something I think this album does incredibly well, especially for the Blue Man Group, which all the song titles and everything, they have a strong sci-fi theme going here. It's real thin kind of paper case. Comes with a cool booklet on the inlay. Every time I buy a CD, I always put it in these plastic sleeves just to keep them safe from dirt and scratches and all that stuff. The Blue Man Group, this is their third album. I don't think it's as good as their first album, Audio, but it is better than their second album, The Complex, since that was more of a modern alternative rock album with musicians and stuff. So some of my highlight songs on this, Dispatches 1 is a great atmospheric start. The Forge is great. It's classic Blue Man Group with the pipe instruments, which Blue Man Group, for those of you who are unfamiliar with them, they pretty much make music by banging on pipes and stuff. It makes a really cool sound. Hex Suit is a very metallic song, but it's got a really good rhythm. 3 to 1 is kind of like a dance kind of song. Alive is one of the most upbeat songs you will ever hear. Snorkel Bone was pretty cool, despite that title. Symbol 9, Robots. Creature Feature was really cool. Vortex had some cool, like, whooshing sound effects in there, and it's all great. Tone Spokes was cool too, really dramatic. So I highly recommend 3 by the Blue Man Group. This one was great. Next one we have, this isn't brand new, but I just got it, so I thought I owe more to it than to just give it a shout out. So this is actually from 2015, and it's Torch. The music remembers Jimmy Jameson and Fergie Fredrickson. They both passed away in 2014, sadly. Both of them are melodic rock icons. Jimmy Jamison, of course, being one of the major singers for Survivor in the mid to late 80s to present day. Fergie Frederiksen, for a period of time, sang for Toto, and he was in a couple supergroups such as Mecca and a bunch of project-driven bands like this. So basically, at Frontiers Rock Festival in 2015, they made 500 copies of this. So this is limited to only 500 pressings. And it was sold exclusively at that fest in Italy. Well, I thankfully managed to find one. It was $50 on Discogs, but hey, what are you going to do about $50? It's better than $300, which is what the other... I saw it for $300, and then I never saw it after that, but thankfully one popped up on Discogs for $50, which Discogs, for those of you who don't know, is a very good music collecting website. It's a collection of tribute songs by artists such as Bobby Kimball, Mark Scherer, Mike Reno, Jim Paterick, and it's got a collection of covers of Jimmy Jamison, Fergie Frederiksen songs, as well as some original Jimmy Jamison. Like they've got When the Battle Is Over by Fergie Frederiksen, Streets of Heaven by Jimmy Jamison, which is one of the most beautiful songs I think I've ever heard in here. This is very hard to find. Jimmy Jamison's album Never Too Late and Fergie Frederiksen's album Any Given Moment are both fantastic. I'd highly recommend both of them. If you can ever find this for a reasonable price, I would definitely recommend picking it up to show your support for these two, because they really are legends of the melodic rock. Now we get to the four Frontier... Well, actually that was Frontiers too, but we get to four Frontiers albums here. First one is Pedal to the Metal by Drive She Said. Drive She Said was a band back in the 80s. They released a debut in 1989, self-titled Drive She Said. It was a keyboard-heavy album. It was fantastic. I really liked it. I've used some of the songs from that 1989 debut in some of my videos. So I was really excited to see that Drive She Said was putting out a new album this year in 2016. Unfortunately, this is probably the weakest one out of all the albums I will be talking about. Going through the track listing, I've got Touch, which is a very gritty, modern, guitar riffing song. It's not bad, but it doesn't really have the same charm as a bunch of the other songs. Pedal to the Metal fits the title. It's like a song that would be perfect in a racing game. It's really up-tempo, really soaring vocals. Track 3, In Our Blood, is one of the highlights. It's a stereotypical 80s keyboard anthem, big chorus and all that stuff. It's literally in our blood. Set It All is a ballad. Writing on the Wall, I wasn't really a fan of. It was a really heavy, fast-paced, didn't really fit. Rainbows and Hurricanes is a very well-written song, some really cool lyrics, good delivery, but it's a ripoff of Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus. Literally, if you listen to Rainbows and Hurricanes, the whole song is the instrumentation is just Wrecking Ball. Love Will Win in the End, it's decent, but nothing too memorable. Rain of Fire is a little too heavy. They needed to tone down the guitars a little bit. In Your Arms is a cool ballad with Fiona Flanagan. She's a great AOR singer. I'm the Night is one of the weirdest moments on this album, because it's like a 90s club trance song, as if it was performed by Rob Zombie, because it's got the Rob Zombie demonic voice sound effect in there, and it's like a dance club song. Not gonna lie though, I was actually really entertained listening to I'm the Night. That's actually one of my biggest guiltiest pleasures. So if you look up Drive She Said I'm the Night, that would be my quintessential dance club song. Lost in You, kinda dancey, but kinda AOR at the same time. And then it ends with an acoustic ballad, which does not fit the rest of this album at all. Just like that picture of them blowing up the car and throwing a lighter and all that fun stuff. It's okay. It's a little too it's a little too mismatched as far as songs and tone and feel goes. It goes from heavy metal to 90s trance to 80s AOR. It's all over the place, it's because I love their 1989 debut, and this album is absolutely nothing like that debut. So I love the cover though. I know that's kind of a small thing to judge, but oh well, it's alright, but nothing too memorable. Then the next one is kind of a cool one. This is a new band called the Defiants, which if you were a fan of Danger Danger, the members of this band are actually former members of, I believe, the second reincarnation of Danger Danger. You've got Paul Lane on vocals, Bruno Ravel, on guitars, and yeah, Bruno Ravel is the bass player, and Rob Marcello is the guitar player. The original Danger Danger singer was Ted Poley, and so Paul Lane was the second singer of that band. So a lot of Danger Danger fans really jumped on this album because they're like, it's a mini Danger Danger reunion. And this is a really cool. I wouldn't really call this 80s because it doesn't really. Some of the songs are 80s AOR tinted, but for the most part, it's mainly just a modern rock album. I love the Western theme. If you look inside the case, there's a cool picture. It's the three of them silhouetted on horseback. That's pretty cool. So the album, it has a kind of an interesting opening though. Intro, Carillon's theme. I'm not sure where that came from. It just sounds like a music box. It almost sounds like it's out of a horror movie. It's like do 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 do. It's like a like a creepy music box, but then there's like a guitar riffing in the background. Kind of an odd way to start the album, but it sounded cool. It definitely had me intrigued. And then, Lovin' Bullets is just an exploding anthem. When the Lights Go Down. Waiting on a Heartbreak is actually my favorite song from here. Track 5, Runaway, is an honorable mention too. Those are all great. And up till the end, We All Fall Down, Save Me Tonight, Underneath the Stars. This is more modern rock than the 80s AOR kind of feel. But if you're a rock music fan, you would definitely like this. If you like Danger Danger, they were a pretty common band back in the 80s and 90s as well, I definitely recommend this one. Speaking of Ted Poley being the absent Danger Danger member there, well, fitting, because a month after the Defiants came out, he released his own solo album, Beyond the Fade. Now, this is actually the inner CD cover. I turned the artwork around because he was doing a deal, Ted Poley, as a person, is awesome. You find him on social media, you find him on YouTube and stuff. He's a huge antique collector. He's a huge, suburban kind of. He seems like one of the coolest guys that you could ever hang out with. I really like keeping up with Ted Poley online there. Because he's got a YouTube channel that I found by accident almost. I found his YouTube channel. There was a video of him doing the ALS challenge. There was him showing off some of his antiques. Just seems like a super cool guy, if you ever wanted to walk around a flea market or something with him. So that already added a sense of relatability and had me excited. Ted Poley, of course, original Danger Danger singer, Naughty Naughty, and he also had his own solo career. This is his latest solo album, Beyond the Fade, and he was actually doing a deal through his eBay page. 100 people got limited, signed, personalized copies, and thankfully I got to it before the 100 sold out. And yeah, I got it autographed, drew a smiley face, Ted Poley. I love the whole space theme of the album, that's really cool. Let's Start Something. It's a great way to start the album. It's great. Everything We Are is one of my favorites. Got a big chorus, as does Hands of Love. Hands of Love is a perfect sing-along song. Perfect Crime is a ballad. Stars sounds kind of like Changed by John Waite. It's 80s AOR heaven, as is Higher. Where I Lost You and You Won't See Me Crying are both fantastic. We Are Young is a powerful ballad. Sirens is really up-tempo, and Beneath the Stars is a great ballad to end out on. So this was a really good album. Ted Poley and Alessandro Del Vecchio, the producer, absolutely nailed this one. I'm proud to have it signed by Ted Poley himself. I love the artwork. The songs are just laced with 80s-ness. It sounds kind of like that original 1989 Danger Danger debut, which is cool. So Beyond the Fade by Ted Poley there, definitely a cool album. And the last one I have, speaking of Alessandro Del Vecchio, the 2016 Frontiers Rock Festival in Milan, Italy. They had much how the Torch was the limited 500 copies at the 2015 event. Well, this was the 2016 limited edition I found online. Alessandro Del Vecchio, Toby Hitchcock, live at the Frontiers Rock Festival. Now, this year, 2016, Frontiers Records celebrated their 20th anniversary, and this is just like a small get-together gig that some of the Frontiers guys did at the anniversary party. It's mainly all covers of, you've got The Road to Nowhere, which was originally a Find Me song, a bunch of Journey, Survivor, Foreigner, I Can't Hold Back, Don't Stop Believin', That Was Yesterday, Man Against the World, Straight to Your Heart. This is cool. I'm happy I got to it too before the 500 copies were completely gone, sold out of print. Great covers. Toby Hitchcock's voice is fantastic. So, yeah, so 6 great, well, for the most part, great. I mean, Drive She Said's a little iffy. The Blue Man Group 3 might not be for everybody. But it's a really great start, and you give this, because I really think if any genre of music needs to make a comeback, it's this melodic rock. See, and it's huge in Europe, huge in Asia, but here in the US, you never hear it in the mainstream. I've still got a bunch on pre-order, so there's probably going to be another video like this, me talking about the records and music and stuff in July, probably, because some of them come out in late June. There's only one I didn't get, which is kind of a shame, because it's the band Sunstorm. It's their 4th album, Edge of Tomorrow. They released 3 albums from 2006 to 2012. All 3 of those albums were perfect. This is actually Sunstorm coming on right now. I love the first 3, but then their 4th album, Edge of Tomorrow, they took more of a hard rock, edgy metal approach. I was not a fan of that switch in tone. There are 2 songs I like. I like the title song, Edge of Tomorrow, and I like the song that's playing right now called Tangled in Blue. But other than those 2, it's really not that great. I'm kind of upset that Sunstorm changed the style, because the first 3 albums were perfect, and then they made it like a hard rock metal kind of thing, and not really my cup of tea. So I hope you guys check out these albums, give melodic rock a good, comeback. I want to start seeing it more and more, and hopefully we could boost the awareness of it and get it more well known and mainstream here in the States. So, yep, check out the albums, they're great, and I will be talking to you guys soon.